This lesson shows how to introduce the red and blue Montessori number rods, and it's the very first lesson in counting. So the number rods themselves um, are quite large, and they're made out of wood, and that is because they're also a sensory material that give the child the impression of the difference between the different quantities, because they'll see the weight, they'll feel it, and they're able to move them around and manipulate them. Here I have a printed version that I'm going to use to introduce the lesson. And the wooden rods are in increments of 10 centimeters or 1 decimeter, and there are 10 of them. So children also get subconscious exposure to the decimal system, which is our number system that counts in groups of 10. And also, if you're using the metric system, it indirectly familiarizes children with those lengths in the metric system. Okay, so but the primary purpose is to introduce the quantities of 1 through 10 and the names that match with those quantities. All right, so before starting this lesson, if it's done with larger, whether large number rods or printed ones or a small tabletop wooden version, it's important that the children see it the right side up and the right direction. So you don't want them to see it upside down or from the side. Children at this age really struggle with reversals, and so that's really important. Okay, so the first thing you'll do is ask the child to put these rods in order from least to greatest, or from smallest to biggest. And if they've been in a Montessori classroom, they're familiar with other material that's similar. But if they haven't, you might start by asking them, can you find the smallest? Yeah, that's the smallest. Can you find the next biggest piece? Yeah, there it is. Let's put it right here. And you're going to have them line up the red to the left, because we read numbers from left to right. So they'll get increasingly larger this way. All right, can you find the next largest? Yep, there it is. And what comes next? And you'll just let the child continue this way until they've lined them up and they can visually see this quantity growing larger. All right, so we put these in order from smallest to largest. Okay, now once they've done that, you can follow it up immediately or on another day with the next lesson, which is a 3-period lesson. And to start with, we're only going to use the first 3. And for this, we're going to introduce the names that go along with the quantities. Okay, and in the first period, we just tell them the name. This is 1. 1. This is 2. 2. 1, 2. This is 3. 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the second period, we are going to give them the vocabulary, the name, and ask them to point. Can you show me 3? Yes, that's 3. Can you show me 1? You found it, that's 1. Where's 2? Yes, that's 2. And again, if they forget, you can just show them. They're still learning. Okay, and in the third period, we're going to ask them to recall or remember the names and match it with the quantity. what's this? Yes, that's 3. Or you might ask, how much is this? That's 2. How much is this? Yes, that's 1. And then you can end with a summary or a review. So today we learned 1, 2, 3. Now on another day, you would introduce 3 more quantities of rods and review the ones that you've already taught. And again, you would leave these out for the child to repeat that lesson independently if they'd like to. And this comes before the introduction of, the next lesson is the introduction of the sandpaper numerals after they've learned all of the names using the red and blue rods. Okay?